everyone. Thank you all for coming out. Everybody here knows how important this is, and everybody here knows that homeless deaths are preventable. And everybody here knows that John Tory keeps on telling us that he cares about homeless people. When we came here in November, he made sure, I think it was the next day, to go out and get himself good photos out with the street patrol, taking pictures of helping homeless people. Everybody knows that he says that he cares, that one homeless death is too many. Meanwhile, we have seen homeless death after homeless death since he said that, and he's done nothing. He keeps telling us that there's no money, that we have to have cuts. And people maybe don't know, unless you're on social assistance, about something called the Housing Stabilization Fund. Now that's money that people on welfare and on ODSP, disability, social assistance, that folks rely on to be able to get last month's rent, so to be able to move or to be able to find housing and get off the streets or get out of the shelter system. It's money that people rely on to flee violent domestic situations, to flee their abusive partners. It's money that people rely on if they've had a flood or fire. It's money that people rely on if they've had to get rid of their furniture because of bed bugs, or if they simply just don't have any furniture. Yeah, lots of people don't have any furniture. And it's something that the city put in place after the province eliminated something called the community startup. And when the province eliminated it, they put in a $110 million cut with that elimination. It was the biggest cut to social assistance in 20 years. And so we know that the province is very much at fault for a lot of the problems that we find ourselves in here today. And we definitely hold the province responsible for the deaths that we find on the streets here as well. And then when the province downloaded that, what happened was the city created with provincial money the Housing Stabilization Fund. And they made it really stingy. It was really hard for people to get. And we kept finding that people were being denied for ridiculous reasons. And eventually we started, well, we always were fighting to try and get people on. We do something called direct action casework. And some people here I see we fought alongside with to get what they need in terms of the Housing Stabilization Fund or rent or whatever it is with welfare, their landlords, their bosses. And with the Housing Stabilization Fund, we fought a case last year, and through that we learned that the city was counting people who have kids, people who will get special diet or guide dog benefit, or other disability benefits. They were counting those things as excess income, their words. And so we fought that blatant discrimination, and we won a huge change. It was a massive victory in the city for folks with disabilities and folks with kids. And through that fight, we noticed that there was a bunch of other fishy stuff going on. We always knew that there was fishy stuff going on with the HSF, but we noticed there were some numbers that didn't add up. There was some really weird stuff happening in the report. So we started looking into it some more. It took a really, really long time. We filed some Freedom of Information Act requests. And so finally, we started figuring out what was going on. And what it turns out has happened is two really, really messed up things. And one of those things is that in 2013, the Housing Stabilization Fund, the first year that the city had it, in 2013, it had a surplus of $7.2 million. So that is $7.2 million that could have gone to helping people get off the street, flee their partners that were abusive, could have helped people get beds or furniture, that it didn't go. And whose fault is that? It's that guy's. And it's that guy's staff. And then what they did with that is they broke that in half. We should put him in a shelter and then see how long it takes before the shelters get some money. That is a good idea. Yeah. And so with half of that money, and then in 2014, basically each year the city had about a $3.5 million surplus for the HSF. $3.5 million that didn't go to people on social assistance. And so in 2013, 2014, 2015, they took that money and poof, it was gone. It just went missing. And it took us a long time to figure out where that money went. You know where it went? It went into the city's pocket. The city took money that was designated for homelessness prevention and homelessness programs that had to be spent in that year, and it put it in the bank. In the middle of a housing crisis, when the shelters are full, when there's disease in the shelters, when there's bed bugs, when people are dying in the streets, they put it in their general fucking reserve. And then what did they do with the other money? So in 2013, I said they took half of it and put it there. Well, the other money, they created a housing allowance. And that money was supposed to go to homeless people or people at risk of homeless so that they could get a $400 rent allowance to help them get housing. So, you know, that sounds okay. Rents are too high. So, and then in 2016, they took a $3.8 million surplus and they did the same thing. And they took shelter support and housing. They put some millions of dollars in 2015 there. They put a couple million this year from the budget there. So that sounds fine. But the problem is that in 2013, when they put the money there, they didn't really bother to keep track of it. So they made a partnership with the Ministry of Finance for the Ministry of Finance to administer this housing allowance. But Shelter, Support, and Housing from the city and Toronto Employment Welfare, they would refer people to it. Is anyone in any of those city departments able to even tell us what that is called? What the name of that allowance is called? No. They can't even tell us what it's called. Can they tell us a single person that's gotten that money? Can they tell us the name of or the existence of a single report that they've ever gotten from the Ministry of Finance about that housing allowance? No. Even though that's the case, they kept putting millions of dollars into it. So now, there's $8 million by the end of this year in that housing allowance with no plan to spend it. No plan! In the middle of a housing crisis. In the middle of a shelter crisis. $18 million! So we have been fighting year after year for more beds. Many of you have joined us in that fight. And we have won some and we have lost some, but we have kept fighting. And we have been told year after year there's no money. But guess what? We know where the money is. We know where it is. We traced it. There's $18 million that John Torys stole. Stay the night? What can we do, she asked. So, stay as long as you can tonight. We're going to keep fighting. We demand that $18 million right now. That money needs to come back. It was illegally taken out of homelessness prevention and homelessness programs. We need 1,000 beds. We're releasing the report with all of the evidence on Tuesday. We're going to City Hall at 10:30 a.m. and all of you can join us. We're going to give it to every single city councilor. And we're going to tell them to give us the goddamn money back. So that's what you can do right now. And then we're going to keep fighting. We're going to get that money. We're going to get the 1,000 beds. And then we're going to keep fighting. We need shelter beds. And we need decent, affordable, accessible housing for all. all know that this is a long struggle. We know that homeless deaths are preventable, and we can fight to prevent them. So thank you for coming tonight. Stay as long as you can. We're going to have coffee, we're going to have music, we're going to enjoy each other's company, we're going to get to know each other, and we're going to build the fight back. Fight to win.